Jeopardy! Hosts Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings have scored a rare joint appearance in the season premiere of her sitcom on Thursday and nothing was off the board. Ken played himself in their shared scene, resulting in wild game show disses and even some flirting. Jeopardy! Fans were in for quite the daily double in the season 3 premiere of Call Me Kat on September 29. Mayim, 46, traded in her cue cards and her signature specs, but it wasn't long before a real-life Ken, 48, arrived. They joined forces on-screen for the first time after both replacing the late Alex Trebek. The premiere opened with her character of Kat flying home after time-traveling the globe, and who else but the 74-time GOAT contestant sat next to her. Mayim's character recognized Ken immediately from his fame, or apparently, lack thereof. Minor celebrity. The shared scene opened with Mayim's Kat greeting Ken as he sits down. "Oh hello." "Hi." Ken curtly responded in a suit similar to his hosting attire. Mayim then realizes who she's sitting with and says, "Oh wow, I will take minor celebrities for 200. Get it, Ken? It's a Jeopardy joke." Ken replies, "What is? Not the first time I've heard it." The back and forths kept coming as Mayim, they were both handed champagne flutes, said with a wink and nod, "That's why you're my favorite host." She then turned to the camera, "I mean, what else am I gonna say?" Mayim then made another shady reference to Ken's vast knowledge, being the winningest contestant ever on the show back in 2004. She asked, "Did you know Madagascar is the original home of the lemur?" Ken replied, "Game to have fun, I didn't know that. Of course, I kind of know everything." Flirting with Mr. Jeopardy? Ken then begged the flight attendant, "Can I switch to tequila?" And Mayim even referenced the game show's Saturday Night Live parodies. "Oh, get out your cell phones folks, Mr. Jeopardy is going for the potables." At that point, Ken decided to switch seats and Mayim's Kat hinted she liked what she saw. "How crazy was that chemistry? I'll make my move in baggage claim." Mayim teased to Extra before the premiere, "We definitely take some pretty funny cheap shots at him and he takes some pretty cheap shots at me. There is definitely some breaking of the fourth wall surrounding the fact that he and I are existing in the same space. And I may or may not develop a crush on him. What is happening?" The art imitates live shared scene, let alone the flirtatiousness, had fans flying to Twitter. One wrote, "Ken Jennings on Call Me Kat, that's so cute, one the pair so nicely getting along. Only watching for Ken," wrote another. The 30-minute episode is indeed an all-out host homage as it's titled, Call Me Ken Jennings. Mayim's makeover. Last week Mayim shared simmering Fox promo snaps even showing some cleavage. She stared down the camera with a smoky eye, a daring crisscross dress, her new cropped hair and tossed one leg over the other showing plenty of skin. Mayim also went glasses-free for her first ever interview with dual host Ken in August. For their special joint appearance talking about the challenges of replacing Alex Trebek, Mayim wore a chocolate-colored brown designer blouse and a black jacket over her top. Her hair was straightened and flowed down to her shoulders, most notably, her eyeglasses were gone, giving fans a clear view of her TV set-ready makeup. Mayim revealed in the joint podcast appearance, "Ken very graciously appears in our season opener of Call Me Kat. It was exciting for everyone, everybody freaked out when they heard Ken was coming." Mayim said, "It was really fun and very meta to have my character to meet Ken Jennings. You're very funny and you did a great job." The meaningful move is especially momentous since the two hosts don't present Jeopardy together. Mayim even joked to the alum-turned-co-host that on tape days going forward, she's upping her fashion game like we're now seeing. "I come in looking like Ken and I come out looking like this," she hilariously dissed on the weekly podcast Inside Jeopardy. Ken, who typically slicks his hair back, less shaggy than when he was a contestant, was quite surprised. He replied with a laugh sitting next to her, like, "Looking like me right now?" Ken is handling the regularly airing show which premiered earlier this month, until January. Mayim is now hosting the weekly primetime spin-off Celebrity Jeopardy! On Sundays. It was supposed to be a sweet, celebratory night, one filled with laughs, red carpet photos, nostalgic reunions, and a warm glow surrounding the long-awaited Call Me Kat premiere event. But Jeopardy! Fans know better, put Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings together in any room, and sparks, playful, awkward, or otherwise, are bound to fly. And this time, Mayim delivered a subtle yet viral-ready diss that left social media buzzing, reporters scrambling, and Ken wearing a smile that felt just a little too tight. The premiere marked one of the rare occasions where the two Jeopardy! Hosts appeared publicly together outside the iconic quiz show's stage. Fans lined up early hoping for selfies, autographs, and a glimpse at the co-hosts they've passionately debated over for nearly 2 years. But no one expected the moment that would soon become the headline of the night. A surprising red carpet reunion. Mayim arrived first, dazzling in a sleek navy jumpsuit with a bold neckline, accented with delicate gold accessories. She looked relaxed and confident, posing with the cast of Call Me Kat and sharing warm embraces with producers. Reporters were already remarking on her glow. It was the look of someone proud of her work and at ease in her element. Then came Ken Jennings, ever the fan favorite with his signature friendly grin and no-nonsense suit. His arrival drew cheers from many Jeopardy! Loyalists, and the energy shifted into pure excitement. But what happened next is what set the internet ablaze. As Ken approached the press line where Mayim was wrapping up interviews, one journalist shouted the question everybody knew was coming. "Mayim. Ken. Can we get a photo of the two of you together?" Mayim turned with a polite smile, then quipped with a comedic timing so sharp it could have sliced through the California air. "Sure, but only if Ken promises not to buzz in before I'm ready." The reporters gasped. Ken let out a laugh, half genuine amusement, half "oh no, we're doing this tonight?" And within seconds, cameras began firing as the two posed shoulder to shoulder, Mayim with a knowing smirk, Ken with the patented Jennings smolder of mild bewilderment. The internet explodes. Once video clips of the moment hit social media, the reactions were immediate. "That was a read," one fan posted on X. "Mayim said I'll take shade for 500, Alex," another user joked. The Jeopardy! Fandom has long been divided between Team Mayim and Team Ken, and this interaction only fueled the fire. Some saw it as harmless banter. Others believed it was a pointed reference to the ongoing hosting debates that have followed the show since Alex Trebek's passing. Whatever the intent, the diss became the unexpected highlight of the evening. Inside the premiere, tension or teasing? Sources attending the premiere said the vibe between the two wasn't icy. If anything, it was more like two coworkers who have survived years of public scrutiny together and now communicate in a language built on inside jokes and strategic sarcasm. One insider claimed, "Mayim and Ken actually get along. They're very different personalities, which makes moments like this seem bigger than they are. But they joke around. They're both brilliant, quirky, and a little competitive." And competitive they were. During the cast Q&A, the moderator asked the audience trivia questions related to Call Me Kat, just a fun warm-up to kick off the night. Ken, naturally, kept pressing the button on his mic to answer first, even for questions directed at the panel. At one point, Mayim nudged him with her elbow and whispered loud enough for the front row to hear. "This isn't Jeopardy, Ken. You can relax." That quote quickly joined the earlier diss in the viral Hall of Fame. A playful but pointed dynamic. The truth is, Mayim and Ken's dynamic has always been complex. Both inherited an enormous legacy and faced contrasting but equally intense scrutiny. Ken, the beloved champion-turned-host, felt to many like a natural successor. Mayim, with her professional poise and strong presence, brought an academic sophistication and warm delivery that others gravitated toward. When the show struggled to settle on a permanent structure, the rivalry narrative essentially wrote itself, whether the two wanted it or not. So when they appear together in a public setting, fans look for every eyebrow raise, every smirk, every moment of potential shade. And this time, Mayim gave them exactly what they came for. But beneath the playful jabs, there was also warmth. During a panel break, Ken was spotted telling Mayim how proud he was of her work on Call Me Kat, at which point she responded with a genuine "Thank you, Ken. That means a lot." A moment lost to cameras but remembered by those nearby. Why the diss felt so iconic? The reason Mayim's red carpet jab resonated so strongly is simple: it was classic Mayim, smart, comedic, quick-witted, and self-aware. She knew the joke would land. She knew people would dissect it. But she also knew that humor is her way of bridging the gap between what the public assumes and what she actually feels. And Ken, being Ken, took it in stride with good humor. He's spent nearly 2 decades on camera mastering the art of charmingly rolling with the punches. To fans, the moment was symbolic, a playful nod to a hosting partnership that has weathered controversies, scheduling changes, online debates, and unusual media scrutiny. Closing the night with a twist. As the premiere wrapped up, the two ended up side by side again for group photos. A photographer asked everyone to look like you're having fun, prompting Ken to joke. "Mayim, are we allowed to have fun, or do I need to wait for the signal?" Mayim burst into laughter, full, unfiltered, authentic. "There it is," she said. That's the Ken I know. And for a second, the rivalry narrative melted away, replaced by something fans rarely see, two colleagues genuinely enjoying a moment outside the structured intensity of their shared TV universe. Final thoughts. The Call Me Kat premiere gave fans more than red carpet glamour. It delivered a viral crossover moment that felt humorous, human, and deeply symbolic of the fascinating Mayim-Ken partnership that continues to evolve. Did Mayim shade Ken? Absolutely. Did Ken take it like a champ? Definitely. Most importantly, did it prove that their dynamic remains one of the most interesting, and entertaining, relationships in television right now? Without question. And if this is what happens at a sitcom premiere, wait until the next Jeopardy! Tournament puts them both under the same spotlight again. The memes practically write themselves.